And then there were the sunflowers.
It was pretty amazing. The field that we just kind of put in on the fly and we didn't even irrigate it. It was just, we caught the weather right, and we had a nice big bloom. It was maybe a year after HCNS quit operation, and so everybody was used to just watching agriculture decline. The fields were going brown, and all of a sudden there's this big yellow pop there, and people started stopping on the highway until it was just this. We were not expecting that at all. I was hoping somebody might notice what we were doing out there, but it was 20 cars, 30 cars at a time parked on the road all day long from sunup to sundown. And in my rough calculations, maybe 50,000 people got out of their car and walked in the sunflower fields over a 2 or 3 week period. When you're out on the field, seeing who's coming, it was mostly locals. There were some tourists, but there was mostly locals out there, and it was the kids. A couple old folks were coming down on the field with their younger daughter in walkers, and I'm thinking, walkers, and it's like, we're going to come down this way, and we're going to do go out into the field, and Grandpa and Grandma have been farming on Maui since they were kids and up country, and now they wanted to come see this crop. It's like, well, go ahead. I'm not gonna. This is real local Hawaiian farmers coming out to look at this new thing that was happening, and my insurance is like, you got to block it off and keep everybody out. It's like, no, this is their island, like it's mine. We're all just doing our thing here. I can't. I'm not going to stop these people from taking a look at something else that's going on. And of course, there was the photographers and the bikinis and the not so much bikinis, and I don't know what. People just kind of go off, and it was so watching this whole movie going on out there.
Well, I think it raised the happiness quotient on the island considerably. I mean, just people were just happy, and people need something to be happy about. And so that was a time where they didn't know where it came from. They didn't know if they'd ever see it again, and that's why so many people came out that day or that week, because they didn't know if it was a one-time thing or not. But I was very impressed with how respectful the majority of people were. If we had a little bit of theft, and those people who did that got called out on Facebook by name. But most of the people were very respectful and helping organize and making sure people weren't trampling, making sure they parked in the right place. Bob would just tell me about the people that would come onto the property and start yelling at other people to be more respectful. And then after he did the first harvest, he said, I found 2 pieces of trash, 1 water bottle and 1 food wrapper for that whole 12 or 14 acres after thousands and thousands of people had been out there. But it was just a beautiful thing. It was just, here's some beautiful flowers, and we let people come and look and enjoy them, hoping they'd take nothing but pictures. And most of them did. Most of them were just, I heard almost everywhere I went, have you seen the sunflowers yet? And people talking to each other. And it's probably been between 15 and 20 years now, and I first started talking about needing to go into the biofuel crop arena, because we were running off of used cooking oil, and you could see a ceiling to that in the state of Hawaii. So I started looking into what crops could work for biodiesel, and of course landed on sunflowers because they're so beautiful. But I remember talking about, when I first started talking at these conferences and meetings in the state of Hawaii about biofuel crops, and I basically got laughed at and almost jeered because land is too expensive and oil is too cheap, and we're never going to be able to support this kind of farming. But even back then, I knew it wouldn't be single-use farming. You had to have a sustainable model. You had to have other high-value products in order to make any crop work. But I'll tell you, until we actually had our own farm, even though it was only 115 acres. When that first sunflower came up, it was pretty emotional for me because I'd been working on this model for so long and been told, just everybody was so skeptical up until the last few years. The last few years with the climate change discussion and the focus on sustainability, people were actually starting to say, hey, we have to do this. We need these crops. We need to do agriculture for energy. And I know we can get to the point with agriculture for energy where we could meet all of our diesel needs on the island if we have the political will. I don't know if we have that right now, and I don't know if we will ever, but we can do parts of it, commercially. So that's kind of where we're at, where Bob and I are at right now with the small sunflower field that we have.